Ba, 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 ba. We live? Okay, we're live. Welcome to episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Wearing my Chad the Gay Economist shirt. If you don't know about that, check out my other channel. It's called Chad the Gay Economist. Anyway, digging into my new 𝓕𝓐𝓐 crate, even though I still have, I think, at least 2, if not 3 beers from the last crate I still haven't reviewed. But it was a long day, and I wanted a nice Imperial Stout, even though it's still technically summer. But, I mean, I could drink an Imperial Stout any day of the week, in any conditions, whether it's hot, cold, whatever. So, here we go. Weldwerks Brewing, they're out of Greeley, Colorado. Coffee Coconut Stout, kind of a generic name. Toasted coconut, milk sugar, Peruvian coffee with Zoe's coffee, 8% ABV. I know the autofocus doesn't actually autofocus. Now I'm hoping that this is going to be a lot like Funky Buddha's Last Snow, which is also a coffee coconut stout. Actually, that's a porter. And that one's a little lighter. I think it's like 5.6, 5.8, might be 6% tops. It's not like a super strong beer. This one's 8%. Unless you count the Last Buffalo in the Park, which is the imperialized bourbon barrel aged version of that beer. But anyway, let's talk about this one. So here we go. It probably looks inky black on camera. It's actually like really, really, really dark brown. I could see it when I was pouring out of the can. We still have a bunch left, so maybe if I top this off, you'll see. It did have about a thumb whiff of brown suds, so they kind of fizzled away. It's a little disappointing. Well, it kind of smells like Last Snow. I mean, definitely a lot of coffee on here. Ah. It's a milk stout, so they got that lactose sugar in there. I mean, it says milk sugar, but it's lactose sugar. So, I mean, and lactose sugar is really more for mouthfeel than it's like, I mean, there's a slight sweetness to it, but yeah, I mean, this smells like, it smells like iced coffee or some kind of like cold brewed iced coffee, like with like some kind of coconut creamer in it. Yeah, it kind of smells like a coconut cream pie with a side of coffee right next to it. Man, I should do that as a pairing someday. Well, that'd be kind of weird to do a beer and pie and coffee at the same time. So you had like the cold beer and the hot coffee. If you guys think I should do that, let me know in the comments or in the chat if one person's watching. All right, so let's dig in here. Cheers. Yeah, that's really good. In fact, that does remind me. It does remind me a lot of Last Snow. In fact, it reminds me a lot of the Last Buffalo. Well, I mean, this one definitely has like I'm getting a chocolatey flavor on here, even though there's no chocolate in it. But I mean, that's just you tend to get chocolatey flavors from porters and stouts from the dark malt that they use. In fact, this to me this tastes more like a porter than a stout because I am not really getting roastiness on here. I definitely get like a coffee flavor, but there's a difference between a coffee flavor and like a roasty flavor. Yeah, so it's like I think the coconut is actually a little bit stronger than the coffee flavor. So to me, it tastes like if you've ever had like a coconut flavored coffee creamer, very very strong. Plus you get the milk sugar in there, so it's really sweet. This is like drinking a glass of like really really sweet iced coffee with coconut creamer. I'm trying to like pay attention to the actual base brew there as far as the malt and hops. Um, yeah, like I said, this to me they are calling this a stout, right? Yeah, it says right there, coffee coconut stout. Here, let me pour this so you guys can see the color. Yeah, see how it's like a fudgy. It's actually quite hazy. It's probably not filtered super well. Um, yeah, so this beer is surprisingly sweet. Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say it's surprising since they're calling this a milk stout. But a milk stout is basically a sweet stout. Like if we're going by BJCP sticks, I forget that number. I think that's, I want to say 15B, but I could be wrong. It's either 15 or 16. Or is it 13? Somewhere around there. This has a little bit more. Has a little bit more body to it than Last Snow. Well, actually, I take that back. This is. I guess it has like a little bit more flavor. This has like a little bit more flavor than Last Snow. Not that Last Snow is a subtle beer. It's actually, quite. It's pretty quite in your face. In this one, like I said, this one's 8% ABV. In Last Snow is like 5 or 6 something percent. But this one has like just a little bit more flavor, but the body is still about the same. I'd probably put it at like only medium. It's not, carbonated fudge or anything like that. It looks like fudge with the brown, but it doesn't feel like fudge in the mouth. This is, I'd say, a medium body and kind of medium low carbonation. But it's a very, very repetitive palate, a sweet palate, coconut up front, coffee in the background. No really anything as far as roasted malt, which I guess is fine, but they should call this a porter instead of a stout. Because you're calling it a stout, I'm thinking I want that roasty like black coffee, burnt popcorn. Well, not burnt popcorn, but just like actual roasted malt, like a deeply toasted toast, or like black coffee, something like that. I would say the drinkability on it is nice. 8% ABV, and I've only been going, 7 minutes, maybe 5 minutes since I started drinking it, and I'm almost killed this 16-ounce can. I'm gonna have no trouble drinking this entire thing. It's not like a sticky, syrupy mess. It's actually, I wouldn't say sessionable, but it's a nice kind of nightcap or dessert beer. This will be fun to do as a contrasting pairing. Do this like with some savory steak or like Mexican, something like that. That'd be really, really interesting. Or even like if you're gonna do breakfast for dinner, like this and bacon. Yeah, they should do a bacon version of this and a bourbon barrel age, which I think is what they do with Last Snow. Yeah, so this is pretty good. It's not quite at your KBS level or anything like that, or like the Southern Tier Blackwater series. But this one is, I think this is a 4.25 for the Weldwerks Coffee Coconut Stout. I think like there's a little bit more they could do with it. Like in the taste, like I said, tastes good, but it's a little simple and kind of repetitive. I'd like to get a little bit more subtlety in there and like maybe like a little bit more body, and no head retention, no foam. Maybe throw some wheat in there, or I don't know, or do this on nitro. That might be cool. But yeah, I like it. Yeah, maybe 4.25 is like a little high considering how many criticisms I have, but like I said, it's a good tasty beer. So if you like your flavored, coffee, coconut stouts and beers like that, you're gonna like this one. So, oh yeah, I got this on Tavour. Got the receipt. This was remarkably cheap. It was, where was it? 2 for $11. So that's only $5.50 a can. That's a great deal. $5.50 for. In fact, in retrospect, I'm kind of sorry I only got 2. So, all right, I'm going long as always. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out Tavour or Tavour, link in the description below. You're gonna get $10.